Okay, so in today's adventures, whoa. Okay, in today's adventures, it's a rainy, misty day, but I'm gonna go ahead and take the eyeball out anyway. I need to get out and ride because I've got the Seagull Sentry coming up here pretty quick. So I'm gonna put a few miles on today. Just get out. I know it's rainy and misty and it's not the best riding conditions, but in a velomobile it doesn't really matter. So the biggest concern I will probably have today is visibility. Not necessarily of me, but of me seeing out the windshield and things like that, because as you know, in a velomobile, visibility is one of the hardest things to overcome, especially when we have these windscreens, and it doesn't matter what kind of goop I put on it, wax and all kinds of other things. Rainy day, and I've discovered a downside. I guess I don't have to yell, I got a mic on. A downside to the way I've done my Schermer hood. And that is, even though I don't have the struts sticking down in the cockpit anymore that used to hang down here, the problem is when I open the visor just a little bit like this, and then gain any speed, it starts to creep down, and then of course aerodynamic forces take over and slam it closed, and then as you see, it starts to fog up. So I might have to figure out something else, because I like the hood, I like the weather protection, I like the aerodynamics too, but if I can't see, what's the point? I was thinking that maybe I'll use just the front windscreen part and open up the sides. Maybe put some holes in the sides or something, but then I lose some of the weather protection that I have. I did tighten up the bolts, the mounting bolts that you see right there by my head. I tightened those up right before I came out on the ride, and it seemed to be tight enough, but I might have to go just a little bit tighter, put some more squeeze pressure on the glass. The experimenting continues. All right, I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm gonna change a battery in the other camera, but I've got a really loud clicking sound coming from the back. So I don't know if I have a loose spoke or what, or if the 5 bearing method has failed on me and I got something wrong back there with the bearings. And that's my Fly 6 telling me that I'm going past 60 degrees and it's going to stop recording here in a minute. All right, so I can't tell if there's any broken spokes. I think what it is those bearings, because there's a lot of stress put on those bearings, and so I think that's what it is. One of the bearings is wearing out on me again. So I may have to end up taking that whole back side apart again. The good thing is I'm not that far from home, so I'll just pedal back home and see if I can look at it at home and figure it out. Like I told my mom one time, these things, because she mentioned that I always seem to be working on it. And I said, well, that's because they're kind of like hot rods. They're really cool, they're really fast, they're really expensive, and you got to work on them all the time. So that's even more so the case when you buy a used one. So I've definitely not cracked the Schermer visor code like I thought I had. May have to figure out some kind of ratcheting, or at the minimum I need to add a defroster scoop like Sauki did on his. It's not quite perfect yet. So do I go back to the original visor and live with the arms sticking down? Not sure what to do on this one. Anyway, short ride today. I forgot to start the GPS at the top of the ride, but I got about probably 11 or 12 miles in. I think I'm gonna have to take apart the back axle. This is a replacement axle, so it's a new axle. I have another one, but I don't think I need to change out the axle. I don't know what's going on. Seems to be a common problem in the Quest, and going from there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, cheers.